start the show till y'all confirm that everything sounds good and all that. So let me know how the sound is. I mean, I think it sounds good. Man, this shit loud as hell.
I mean, I'm just listening to what the people say.
He said Timothy Bradley hacked the audio. Hey, Timothy Bradley gonna get this work. But let me lower it a little bit.
Better. When you don't speak into the mic, it doesn't sound good.
So we got to speak to the mic. All right, we definitely gonna speak to the mic because we got to preach today. So welcome to Split Decision. You already know.
First live show,
and we struggling. Well, we doing all that for y'all. So click on the notification bell to get smarter by the minute. If you're trying to get dumber by the second, don't listen to Timothy Bradley because he out here saying Crawford could be Floyd. So
a prime Floyd.
So like I said, keep us upgraded when it comes to the audio. This is our first time live. We're going to test it next week before we go live to make sure we know what we're doing. We lost in the sauce today, but guess what? We made it. So that being said, Terrence Crawford, he fought Mean Machine. He broke the Mean Machine down. Now the Mean Machine out of order. I believe the way Crawford fight or the way he fought Mean Machine, he need to change his nickname to Machine because he a mean son of a gun. So the fact that Mean Machine dropped him, though, had a lot of people questioning him. Now, seeing the fight, how'd you rate Crawford's performance? And against the welterweights, the best welterweights in the world, does he have to box smart and not go to toe-to-toe to prove that he got the best instincts ever like Teddy Atlas? I believe that got to him. He's like, you know what? I got the best instinct of all time. Let me prove it. So how you feel about the Mean Machine fight and the fact that he got dropped?
Well, he did get dropped. It wasn't counted as a knockdown, but he was definitely hurt. It was a little bit of grappling, but he went down. I would give him a B- for that performance. So Mean Machine needs to be given credit. He was undefeated welterweight. He did have a draw, I believe, but these are not the type of fights that are going to put Terrence Crawford onto the minds of kind of mainstream fans, right? The hardcore fans are doing that, but our partner London came through, what was that, yesterday, and I was like, yeah, you going to watch the Terrence Crawford fight? And he was like, Terrence Crawford fighting? And that said something. If this is supposed to be the number one pound-for-pound fighter in the world, and London, I wouldn't necessarily classify him as a casual fan, but he didn't know anything about it. So this is poor promotion by ESPN, Top Rank, Bob Arum, and this just means to me that Terrence Crawford needs to be fighting better competition. I'm sorry, at least a Danny Garcia, a Keith Thurman, a Sean Porter. But with that, what I say, I gave him a B- for that.
A B plus.
A B plus. A B plus is fine.
Start going down.
A B plus is fine.
Well, I say this. I think Crawford is damn if he do, damn if he don't. Like, he's trying to be exciting. He want to go for the knockout. He stopped his last 6 opponents now. 4 of them were undefeated. So they semi-good. You know what I mean? Like, the fact that he fought Benavidez, Amir Khan, like, we know Amir Khan was over the hill. However, the other fighters like Jeff Horn that gave Pacquiao a tough time, and he destroyed him. Like, Mean Machine was the last guy that beat Ray Robertson. And Ray Robertson is a fighter that I believe beat Crawford in the amateurs. He was the last guy that beat Crawford. So Mean Machine showed that he belonged in the ring with a champion like Crawford. And like I said, in my opinion, he's still pound for pound number 1. I just believe that he took risks. I mean, even Andre Ward, during the fight, he stated that, man, this guy, he's exchanging too early. He exchanging, and it's like 50-50 exchanges when you shouldn't be doing that. You got the superior skill, break your man down, use your boxing skill, and you're going to get the knockout later on. But I believe he tried to prove a point, and after he got dropped, oh, man, all hell broke loose. He tried to prove a point. So like I said, it's damn if he do, damn if he don't. If he box, he born. If he gonna knock somebody out.
Who's ever described Terrence Crawford as a born fighter?
When he fought Postal, people was complaining about him boxing around.
I thought that was masterful.
Like, I'm not trying to compare him to AJ because, obviously Crawford pound for pound #1 and he with the smoke, unlike AJ. But when AJ boxed, you see people criticize him for boxing. So Crawford, he looked at that like, nah, I'm going to show that I'm a different class. I'm a pay-per-view star. A future pay-per-view star. I could be that. And he showed that, like, yo, listen, I'm an entertaining fighter. However, that's what comes with the territory. You get criticized either way. If you put on a hell of a performance, they're going to criticize you. If you go in an action-packed fight, they're not going to call that the Gotti Ward. They're going to be like, oh, man, Crawford, he showed vulnerability. And that happened with Gamboa. I remember when he fought Gamboa, remember? He fought Gamboa, and then...
Yeah, because he got rocked.
Yeah, after he fought Gamboa, he fought Beltran, and he outboxed Beltran without getting touched. So, like I said, he could box smart. However, he chooses not to. I believe it's his choice. I don't think it's like, Mean Machine got him into this fight. Nah, he wanted to fight in that fashion. So, that being said, Crawford, he stated, there's no such thing as the other side of the street. Agree or disagree?
I want to strongly disagree. So he
said there's no other side of the street, though.
Just because he says it doesn't mean it's true. So this is somebody who is either doesn't know the business of boxing or is trying to ignore the business of boxing. So there were two fighters. There was Lennox Lewis and there was Mike Tyson. And everybody wanted them to fight at the time, even though Tyson was a diminished version of himself. But one was a Showtime fighter. Another one was an HBO fighter. And they had to go through some negotiations. So there is another side of the street because Charlo uses that as an excuse all of the time.
Now it's an excuse for Charlo.
What I'm saying is, there's obviously another side of the street because Charlo, instead of saying, I'll fight Andrade, it's, well, I don't want to go to the zone to do that. I'm a Showtime fighter, so he needs to come to me. So that's saying that you got to come to my side of the street.
But I'm saying if it's true, according to you, how is it an excuse if Charlo says there is the other side of the street? In my opinion, there is no side of the street. Because Crawford, he convinced me. He said, look, Wilder, he fighting Fury. So if Wilder's fighting Fury and Fury fighting for ESPN, so how come there's no other side of the street when it comes to that? You know why? Because they both want to fight each other. At this point, at least Fury, because Wilder always wanted to fight, right? However, what Crawford misses to understand is, there's the other side of the street. Only big fights get made, and Crawford against any welterweight is a mega fight. However, what he misunderstanding in this whole situation is this. You need to listen to me. Quit looking at the context.
It was
buffering.
Buffering.
Yeah, it's all right. It's okay. Like I said. But anyways, what Crawford means is like, okay, there's no other side of the street. However, what he need to realize is that Danny Garcia ain't trying to see him. A lot of these welterweights ain't trying to see him. Keith Thurman ain't trying to see him. Because, he's high reward, but he's even a higher risk because he's hard to beat. So if you on ESPN, none of these guys want to come see you. None of them gonna want to come see you. If they beat you, they could enter the pound for pound top 3 because you are pound for pound #1. However, they don't feel like they can beat you, so they're gonna use the excuse of the other side of the street, and that's why I believe Crawford should have went to PBC, because if he would have made that move, he would have forced them to fight him, and that's the difference that I believe Crawford is not kind of like catching up to. He thinking like, there's no other side of the street. You see Wilder fighting Fury, but he got to realize not everybody's a Wilder. Not everybody is the truth Errol Spence. Well, we got people like Canelo, you know what I'm saying, that he got the zone in his pocket. He got Andrade on his roster, and he's still ducking. Like I said, stop making excuses, make things happen. So Danny Garcia, Keith Thurman, of course they're going to use the other side of the street excuse. Of course. That's why
Like
it would have been
Charlo?
beneficial if you would have went to PBC, because I believe Heyman would have pressured them to fight Terrence. Because like I said, Terrence Crawford, he's high reward. However, he even a higher risk, because it's high reward, but what if I can't beat you? Then it doesn't matter.
I mean, this is a number 1 pound for pound fighter. If you beat him, you're gonna get accolades. You're gonna do this. It's gonna open up a lot for you. One thing is, Bob Arum wants him to fight Sean Porter. He's letting his friendship kind of get in between that fight. So he needs to make a decision. You want to make friends in boxing, or you want to make a legacy in boxing? I mean, it sounds a little cruel in a sense, but you have to make a choice in there. These fighters are not going to fight you. Errol Spence is out of commission for the time being. Keith Thurman weighs about 200 pounds now. I've seen him in recently. He was helping somebody train for a fight. Who was that guy?
Tony.
He helped Tony Harrison train for a fight, and he's injured every 6 months. For the Danny Garcia, he doesn't want that smoke. Manny Pacquiao has never wanted that smoke. So fight Sean Porter.
Like I said, that's the fight that's in the plans. Bob Arum came out and stated that his next couple fights should be Porter and then Canelo. Now the Porter fight, after seeing him fight Mean Machine, first of all, shout out to Sean, and I don't mean no Sean Porter, the guy Sean Johnson in the comment section, but Bob Arum, you don't gotta keep looking at the view. Pay attention to me.
I'm just making sure our stream. We dealing with some technical difficulties out here. We're dealing with some technical difficulties.
I just don't want Professor Nen to make excuses.
When
I be like, I knocked you out. Well, I was looking at the computer. I don't want him to say nothing like that. You know what I'm saying? When I knock him out, I want him to realize it. I want him to know what punch I knocked him out with, right? So I want you to know what point I countered you with, right? So
I heard everything. I heard it.
Well, listen, well, you ain't got nothing to say, right? So Porter, like I said, against Crawford, if he goes in there and treats him like a meat machine and try to prove a point, then guess what happened to him? He gonna be in a tough fight. Not saying he gonna lose, but it's gonna look like Errol Spence versus Sean Porter. However, it probably be the other way around, because that's Sean Porter game. Errol Spence, he just could beat you at your own game. Crawford showed he could beat Mean Machine at his own game, but Porter is a different story. However, I believe if he does fight Porter and they do put their friendship aside, that Terrence Crawford going to come prepared. He's not going to take him lightly. And I believe he's going to school your boy Sean Porter. Sean Porter, he showed that he's on the class with these welterweights time and time again. I mean, he been in the game against everybody. I mean,
yes, he fought everybody.
However, I feel like the Crawford fight for Porter in particular is a win-win situation, because he just lost to Errol Spence. He had a close fight with all these welterweights. He showed that, he belongs with the top welterweights, right? However, Crawford, on the other hand, this fight is just to compare his performance with Errol Spence. Everybody is going to look to do so.
Oh, my God.
Everybody's going to look to do so. What you mean?
For one thing is, you are right. Sean Porter has proven that he's up there because he's fought everybody at welterweight. Terrence Crawford hasn't done that. I still think he's pound for pound, but let's not get ahead of ourselves. All right. So if you want to give somebody like Joe Horn credit, or whatnot, I don't think that's. I think that's a little
beat Pacquiao.
That was disingenuous or whatnot. So he beat unmotivated Pacquiao. It was a sloppy fight. He almost got stopped in that fight too, but I just think that if that is just shining light on your resume for a welterweight, then your resume is lacking that resume. And this is not. No, I'm not hating.
So what's the point?
I have Terrence Crawford as my pound for pound or whatnot.
So what's the point you're trying to make?
It's like you can't. He needs to fight top welter, like any top welterweight out there. And if somebody that's out there that's available, fight him, because. But to say that this is in comparison to Errol Spence, that's both. He fought the mean machine.
He did not say that. I'm saying that.
That's when you said it.
I said if he fights Porter, people automatically gonna compare his performance with Errol Spence.
Absolutely, as they should.
So what you mean? Terrence Crawford already stated He's going to sit down with Sean Porter, and they're going to see if that fight is makeable, if they could put their friendship aside. I think, listen, if you, my brother, and you love me, like Hagler said, then fight me so I could eat with you. You know what I'm saying? Sean Porter dad called Crawford out. Sean said, hey, if Crawford is cool with it, I'm willing to step in the ring with him. Now Terrence Crawford is basically saying the same thing. So I believe that fight going to happen next because it's a no-brainer. I mean, you got Taylor. I don't think he's ready to move up to 147. And he definitely, I don't think he's ready for Crawford. He's one of the best. He's the best 140-pounder, don't get me wrong. However, Crawford is a different breed. You got Canelo Alvarez, if he could beat a Sean Porter, because Errol Spence ain't no telling when he coming back. To give you, and to counter your point about Jeff Horn, Pacquiao was supposed to fight Terrence Crawford. He chose to cherry pick Jeff Horn.
He did.
And that's what you call cherry picking going wrong. Like, let's call it what it is. Jeff Horn, he showed in and showed out. Pacquiao wasn't ready. I could care less. You got to treat every opponent like he's a Ruiz. We saw what Ruiz did to AJ. So, Pacquiao, he got no excuse. Jeff Horn just had a style that gave Pacquiao problems. And Terrence Crawford, on the other hand, he washed him. And Jeff Horn, the fact that he already kind of beat Pacquiao, robbery or not, he have a little confidence, like, oh, I was in the ring with Pacquiao. You know what I'm saying? And then he had a mandatory fight, and then he fought Crawford. Crawford destroyed him. Like I said, he fought his last 5 opponents or 6 opponents. He stopped all of them, and 4 to 5 of them was undefeated. And he fighting them at their own style. So I believe Crawford, his only mistake that he be falling into is he be falling to the media hype like, oh, you got the best instinct. Oh, you know, you mean, and this and that. Wish we don't talk about it because he mean. Max Kellerman could tell you that. He been preaching that from day one. And when he interviewed him, he showed him how mean he is by calling him, you know, a hater and a man that don't know ish about the sport. But that's a topic for that's coming up. That's coming up. Do we want
to address in the comments? All right. So,
what the comments saying?
So give us. So, well, let me make it. So we don't currently have a producer. So we're a producer of the show. We had some falling out with a couple of things that was kind of going on. So we'll be trying to negotiate some things. But we are going to open up the phone lines. We want you to call in. Akhi is going to put out that number again. And then we're going to periodically going to take some time to answer some of these questions. Somebody
to call in, right? For each topic, we want somebody to call in. So we're talking about this topic, for examples. I want somebody to call in and stick to the topic. At the end of the show, we're going to have like 30 minutes for people to call in, et cetera, et cetera. So for the moment, Porter and Canelo versus Terrence Crawford. That's his future fight. Please call in. I'm going to leave the number in the description box. Somebody call in, and we could get to it.
And while he's doing that, I'll answer some of these questions.
What's your thoughts on Canelo fight? No, just go ahead and answer the Canelo situation.
I think it's a gimmick fight. I don't want to see. So Canelo just won the championship at 175.
It's a 50-50 fight. Oh. And just to let it be known, the people that hating on my drip talking about what I'm wearing, this is traditional shit, back home-ish. Something y'all don't know about. I'm educating y'all. Prince Nassim Hamed, y'all know where he from. We represent the same country. Y'all can't hate. Hey, y'all can hate on our drip all y'all want, but we too fresh for y'all dusty excuses. Please bring some new ones. Professor Nim, he too fresh to be bringing these dusty excuses, man.
Yeah. So somebody said,
stop making excuses.
I got sugar in my tank, but we can settle this like me and old school or whatnot.
Yes, sir. But anyways, so like I said, I could understand you saying that, okay, Canelo, he will be the favorite against Crawford. I'm not gonna disagree. I'm just saying it's a 50-50 fight to me because Canelo, the last time he fought a slick fighter, he lost, and that's Lara and Floyd. And that's what Crawford brings to the table. He did lose to Lara. He got robbed.
Let me check this.
8-4. Lara, don't act like Canelo don't have the judges' scorecards in his pocket, Professor Nam. Like, don't even act like Canelo don't have the. So you're gonna act like when Canelo fought Trout, the Texas judges had him winning every single round, and it was an open scorecard. Made Trout fight out of his own pocket. With Lara, I believe one judge had him winning every single round. Canelo had.
It still goes on his record. Like, for example.
And hold on.
It still goes on his record.
And when he fought Floyd, one judge had it a draw and two judges
that was dumb.
had it close.
And they got fired.
No,
right?
he didn't. No, she didn't. She
That's
scored.
Bird. That was
she
Bird,
scored
right?
Pacquiao versus Bradley fight.
She should not be boxed. She is obviously a corrupt judge. I'm gonna throw that out. But at the same time, you saw Charlo against Korobov, right?
So you're gonna justify Canelo?
No, what I'm saying is that he got that win, right? So a lot of people will be like, Charlo lost to Korobov, and I'm like, no, he didn't. Why not? A lot of people say that.
I don't care
a
what
lot
they
of people say that.
I'm saying he won 8 rounds.
On his record, it's not an L.
It matters when a casual fan say, "Oh, it's a robbery." I could care less. When the Akhi say it was a robbery, best believe it is, cause I ain't no hater. Like I said, if Canelo won fair and square, he won. But he lost that fight. So you thought he did too. I don't know why you capping.
I do want to give a shout out to Serrano Boxing. Is that what it is?
Hold on.
Serrano.
Hey, hold on. Forget
Serrano.
Hey, look,
Serrano.
No, don't cut me off. Professor Nim, he had Lara winning that fight, but he gonna try to justify Canelo not having the judges in his pocket.
Listen. So, Serrano brought up that I love Canelo, but the fight against Triple G felt like the judges gave him the first fight. So I actually had him losing that fight. I was mad because I had bet on Triple G to win that fight. So I'm not in Canelo's pocket. And I would say that what I'm saying is like you have to go about what's on their record because a lot of people thought that Floyd Mayweather lost that first fight against Castillo,
and what he
that
do?
was a close
and
fight,
what he
and he rematched it.
Hey, did Canelo do so? Did Canelo do so?
It's Floyd undefeated.
Did Canelo do so?
It's Floyd undefeated.
Did Canelo do so?
It's Floyd undefeated.
Answer the question. Did Canelo give Lara a rematch?
He gave Triple G a rematch.
Did he give Canelo a rematch? Because Triple G had all the belts. I'm talking about, did he give Lara a rematch?
He did.
Nope. Exactly. My point exactly. Canelo don't got the cojones of Floyd, period. So don't compare him to Floyd. It's disrespectful. I respect him and gave him a PhD degree like the one you got. So, like I said, you over here on Canelo payroll, and we ain't getting a dime from him on a split decision. We don't even got somebody to manage everything for us. So tell Canelo to get somebody for us at least.
Tell Charlo to give you some of that bling that he wearing and like them
I got
exotic
my own
cars
drip. I don't need nobody drip. Meanwhile,
I make my own money. I make my own money.
You dig in your own grave. You dig in your own grave. So that being said, on to the next topic. Crawford, he checked Max. He told him he hating. He never boxed before, so he don't know about boxers making weight. So my take is this: like Max Kellerman, like I said, they in ESPN they handing out backhand compliments because like when he talked about Crawford, right? He was like he a mean fighter. He always talk about how mean he is in the ring, right? But my problem with Max Kellerman is the fact that he keeps saying that Crawford is this, Crawford is that. However, he don't say he pound for pound number one. He always try to put Lomachenko next to him. And then when he fighting a guy like Mean Machine, he criticizing his opponent. Even though Mean Machine is a 2-time Olympian. Even though Mean Machine is undefeated. But when Lomachenko fights a Luke Campbell, then that's a great fight. When Tyson Fury fight a Tom Schwartz, he never questioned Tyson Fury. He never bring up like, yeah, you fighting Mean Machine, like, and he bring up the fact that he lost to Ray Robertson or it was a draw. But when he had Tyson in front of him, he never told him, why you fighting Tom Schwartz, man? The guy ain't even ranked. You were supposed to fight Deontay Wilder the second time. Why you fighting Wallen? A cherry pick that you almost lost to. So he don't be keeping the same energy. So that's why I believe Crawford was kind of upset with him and kind of G-checked him like, hey, you don't know ish about boxing. So he kind of like, and Max Kellerman, he lost a lot of credibility to me. A whole lot when he said Pacquiao is a better fighter than Floyd. So like, why they fought? And then he even stated time and time again, he always mentioned the fact that Floyd Mayweather is a calculated fighter and like he tried to say that he cherry picks or whatever. However, he got a guy like Tyson Fury fighting a guy that ain't even ranked on the top 50. And he ain't keeping the same energy. Floyd opponents compared to Tyson Fury opponents, it ain't even a discussion. However, you going to question Floyd, but you ain't going to question Tyson Fury. That's why I believe Crawford was like, he don't have respect for Max Kellerman. And Max Kellerman tried to play it off. He tried to, you know what I'm saying, brush it off a little bit. But nah, my man Crawford gave it to him. So what's your whole take on that? Him G-checking him on the whole, weight situation. And, Max Kellerman, he said we could agree to disagree, but we're going to debate about it later. If it was me, I would have I'm going to stick I'm going to debate with you now. Like, I'm not going to talk about it later. Max Kellerman was very uncomfortable during that whole situation. What's your take on it?
So there's a couple of things about that. So there's a term for that, and it's called pulling rank, essentially. So there was an episode one time where Roy Jones was stating something about a fighter that was hurt or something like that, and I believe it was Larry Merchant tried to come in, and Roy Jones said something about, you don't know what you're talking about because you ain't never boxed or something like that, and then Larry Merchant was like, you don't have to pull rank necessarily. So there is something to be said about you cannot just disregard somebody's comment because they haven't necessarily been in the ring. I said I feel a little bit about that because I did try to pull somebody. I did try to pull rank one time when somebody was kind of questioning me, and I was like, you never boxed, and then I kind of pulled out some of my credentials. But I think there's also something called science, right? And so Max was speaking about there's something, there's something about when you are dehydrating your body to get to a certain weight, your body is in a compromised position. Your brain needs fluid to be able to take that type of punishment necessarily. But Crawford's point was that I've been in the ring. I know how I feel based on having these day before weigh-ins and then where I can replenish my bodies. And Max's argument was that, well, fighters should be fighting closer to their natural weight. And then he felt that it was a lot safer back in the day when you actually weighed in the day of the fight, and then you basically had to kind of fight at that weight. And then you didn't see people who kind of depleted themselves and then went in and gained sometimes upward of 20 pounds. I've seen somebody gain between like 18 and 20 pounds that next day of just basically just water weight in there. So I think that Crawford has the right to state what he states because he is the person that's in the ring. I don't think Max has even boxed as an amateur. But I think that he's very knowledgeable about boxing. I disagree with him a lot, but particularly when it comes to Floyd. I don't know. It seems that HBO's production just has this eye, or maybe because Floyd left him for Showtime. But I don't really understand that argument.
He destroyed HBO. Yeah. Floyd Mayweather destroyed HBO. When he left HBO got destroyed as Showtime picked up the steam. And that's why Max Kellerman hates him. That's why Jim Lampley hates him. But the funny part is, even when Floyd was still fighting on the network, they were hating on him. So, of course, he was supposed to make a move like that. And that's what Crawford should have done instead of complaining about ESPN, because they told him you pound for pound number one to his face. Mm-hmm. And then, during that same interview, they showed that Lomachenko's pound for pound number one on ESPN list with an undefeated record.
Yeah, well,
they removed his loss. So
yeah,
like I said,
they made it a draw, and I actually went back and I saw it, and it's actually on there. If you watch the interview, actually the latest interview with Terrence Crawford, they'll put up the pound for pound. And they have Lomachenko with a record of something like 0-1.
So my point is this: is all backhand compliments. Like Mac, the Teddy Atlas gonna come over here and talk about you got the best instinct that I had ever seen. This. Like, forgetting Roy Jones, forgetting Floyd, forgetting Muhammad Ali. Like,
Sugar Ray Robinson.
These fighters had crazy instinct. And Crawford, my man. But you ain't finna tell me anybody had better instinct than Roy Jones, for example, right? So he told him that. Then I'm like, hold on. That's the same guy that told Terrence Crawford and Andre Ward to their face when Lomachenko only had 7 fights. He told him, y'all not competing with each other. Y'all competing with Lomachenko because he pound for pound number one. Now he's trying to make up with it, saying this with a backhand compliment because as soon as the interview was 5 minutes in, they showed the pound for pound list had Lomachenko on it being undefeated. Trying to fool the casual fans. But that's why the Akhi is over here, because ain't no cap in my game, even with my cap on. Because like I said, I tell it to you how it is. All these Canelo fans in the comment section talking about we this, we that. At the end of the day, y'all could call in and y'all will get schooled any day of the week. However, if y'all want to just show love, all my Akhis, all Andrade, everybody in the comment section, appreciate all the love and support. But like I said, back to my point, Max Kellerman, like I said, he does the same thing to Crawford. And that's why Crawford, he got fed up with that. And I don't think he kind of like I agree with you. You know, you don't got to box to know about boxing. I would say you would know way more about boxing and you will appreciate boxing if you do box because you will realize, oh man, what Floyd does, that's special.
Magical.
What Rigondeaux does, that's special. However, at the end of the day, in my opinion, Max Kellerman, he knows his stuff. However, he tried to create his own narrative and hate on these fighters on the coincidentalist and overpraise fighters on the hopeless. And that's his agenda from day one. I mean, they created a Gotti list. What is a Gotti list? The fighters that get beat up all the time? Like, what the hell is a Gotti list? I don't see Mike Tyson on that list.
Who's they when you say they? Like ESPN,
Larry,
HBO?
Jim Lampley made
Okay,
the Gotti
HBO.
list.
Okay.
Max Kellerman.
I just want to be clear for the viewers.
Yeah, so what I'm saying is this. That's why Crawford checked him. It's because he got fed up with all that. Like, I don't think he really disagreed with him that much. We could agree to disagree. It's all boxing at the end of the day. But he just hate the fact that he's a two-faced person. In front of him, he want to compliment him. And in the same compliment, he discredit him. Like, oh, well, you fighting me, machine. Who's that? I didn't see you keep the same energy with Tyson Fury, like I said. And at the end of the day, Max Kellerman, he is right in a way. However, Crawford had a great point, which was, hey, listen, you know, you don't know what fighters go to when they make weight. So if you tell me I got to fight the same day I got to make the weight, it's kind of tough.
That's a good point.
And I agree with him. Like, I went to see my man Khalid Tuaiti fight in New York City. And when I went, like, it was so much. We had to wait like 5 hours to weigh in. Bro, you know how, like, tough it is? You know, you over here making weight, you got to wait 5 hours, and then you got to fight? That's why when he said that, I was like, you know what? I see where Crawford coming from. And Khalid Tuaiti, he believes, he liked the fact that you could have a weigh-in the next day you fight. And Saddam Ali thinks the other way around because he had an experience fighting a guy like 30 pounds bigger than him. So I could see either way.
Yeah, there's an argument on both sides.
Like, Max Kellerman could have his, you know, opinion all day, but like I said, it's the fact that he be flip-flopping. He would compliment you, and then he would, like, discredit you at the same time. That's all I'm saying. So let's talk about. Hold on, where we at? Oh yeah, you know we gotta talk about this. You know we gotta mention this. Lopez, he knocked out Commey.
Got to.
He knocked out Commey.
I actually predict that. I did predict.
You predict it's gonna be a tough fight now.
I did, but I did say a Teofimo Lopez knockout of Richard Commey. I thought it was gonna be a little bit later.
Yeah, I noticed when Lopez stepped in the ring, he was very comfortable from round one. Usually fighters take a little time to adjust. They take, you know, a couple minutes to at least, like, you know, figure you out, fill you out. However, Lopez from round one, he was letting it go. He was letting it fly. Commey, he was very comfortable too. However, Lopez hurt him with a left hook early on. And you could see, like, man, Commey's supposed to be the power puncher. But Lopez hurt him from the get-go, and he was taking his shots pretty well. He was taking Commey's shots pretty well. And then in the second round, man, they exchanged right hands. However, Lopez wasn't really. He wasn't really exchanging.
He actually slipped the right hand.
Yeah, he slipped the right hand. Then basically he countered him. They said he exchanged, but he basically countered him. But he just exchanged with him. But he got his head off the center line. That's what you're supposed to do, and that's where his amateur game came into play. And Commey, that was my worry. That's why I didn't want to base my prediction because, like I told you, I know Commey personally, and you know, Commey sometimes he misjudges distance. And he leave his head in a certain line, and he got paid for that. And Commey, man, he put his lights out. In my opinion, some fighters don't have enough heart. Some fighters have too much heart. Commey, for example, he have too much heart, and that's where it could end up costing you because he tried to get up too fast. and ended up costing him because maybe he would have took a knee, took an 8 count, relaxed instead of burning himself out trying to get up in 2 seconds. You know what I mean?
Or tie somebody up.
Yeah, so Lopez, he knew that Commey is a veteran. He always get hurt and come back. He went for the kill and got it. So Commey definitely made a shocking wave statement in front of Lomachenko. And Lomachenko now saying, you know what? Lopez, he's now worth it for me to fight. Now he could have been fighting Lopez for undisputed at 135. However, he don't want the smoke with none of these young guns. Now, ESPN could erase his losses all they want. But now it's like a bigger problem. It's almost as big as of a problem as erasing Adrian Broner losses. Imagine the PBC trying to erase Adrian Broner losses. Hold on, let me finish my point.
Lopez,
hold on. Let me finish my point. Listen, at the end of the day, picture PBC trying to erase Adrian Broner losses. They're gonna try to go through hell and back in order to do so. For them to erase Lomachenko losses, if he fights the likes of Lopez, the likes of Devin Haney, the likes of Tank Davis, the likes of Shakur Stevenson, man, he ain't surviving that storm. I'm telling you that right now. Lopez is a threat for his throne. The throne that he ain't trying to defend. The throne that he gave up portion of his throne to different fighters without even going for a fight with Devin Haney, right? So Lopez, in my opinion, he's a very serious threat for Lomachenko. However, I must admit, Lomachenko, he will probably be the favorite because of his experience and all that. However, he don't have the power advantage. He usually lure you to sleep and then catch you with a shot you don't see coming. That's how he usually knock people out. He don't got power like that. He an average puncher at most. But Lopez, on the other hand, he got a lot of power. The fact that Lomachenko likes to fight orthodox fighter, he's going to be more at home versus a Lopez because he could perform his favorite pivot move, which is slide to the right and be in a safe zone while you able to land your own offense. So that being said, how you see that fight playing out is Lomachenko going to fight Lopez, and he already stated he fighting him in April. So he better not create no excuses.
Absolutely. I think, and he also said that he has a title now. He's interesting to me. And I give him credit because he's looking to make a legacy. So first, I want to comment on Lopez. I thought he was super sharp in that fight. He came out in that first round. I mean, sharp. His counters was sharp. His focus was there. And Commey is a good fighter, but he doesn't have that wow factor that Lopez has. Like when you see Lopez, he jumps out at you, right? So his combinations, they're quick, they're fast, and that was the difference that I saw between him and Commey. Commey is a very good fighter, but his combinations are really predictable. And Lopez, he's flashy. He can counter you. He can, but he can also lead with his combinations. And he struggles a little bit, and this is something that Ward points out. Like he starts he goes into the Mayweather shell from the first round, right? He actually that's just his boxing stance. And if you look at Mayweather, I'm talking about Lopez. And with Mayweather, he would kind of get to and it's called boxing in the pocket. He would wait till he's taking all this information and calculate it so he knows exactly what the boxer is going to do at a certain time. He knows the speed of it. He finds the range, and then he gets into the pocket, and then he's in control. Lopez just jumps into the pocket, so sometimes he gets caught because he hasn't properly studied, evaluated his opponent. So I love that fight. I still think that Lomachenko will be the favorite, but I think that's one of for 2020, right behind Wilder and Fury. I think that's probably the most anticipated fight of next year.
Yeah, I agree with you 100% on that. Now, responding to the people in the comment section, my man, Saruno, boxing. We're going to talk about Charlo numbers and all that in a few. We want to stay at the subject. We're not trying to flip-flop. My man, Sean Johnson, he already know what time it is. He said, Professor Nan, quit making excuses for Lomachenko. He over here ducking. Of course, he a duck. That's what, you know what I'm saying? So, at the end of the day, listen, I agree with you. See, the thing with Floyd, like you stated earlier, right? Floyd was so good that it don't matter. Even while he's studying you, he's outboxing you. He's whipping you. He's using that jab. He had he had the whole package. Lopez, on the other hand, you know what I'm saying? Like you said, he jumped into the fire too early without studying his opponent. He put his hand down. But with the performance that he did, that like he had with Commey, you can't really criticize him if you could really back it up the way he did, because Commey was a veteran opponent. However, like I said, against Lomachenko, which we'll get to it, Lomachenko reacted to Lopez knockout, and he stated that, you know, Lopez, he a good fighter, a smart fighter. He has he a great puncher. However, it matters who you up against. Obviously, Commey is a great opponent. However, Lomachenko is on a different class. If Lopez could beat a Lomachenko, then he's official.
He is.
You know what I'm saying? He's official. Then
I think he's a star in the making. He beats Lomachenko. His personality, he has a flashy style. He's a star in the making.
Yeah, he definitely is starting to make it, but that's a hell of a task. Like I said, it's doable, but the fact that ESPN trying to erase his loss, good luck with that. If you ain't knocking him out, you ain't beating him like that. He went to the UK, fought Luke Campbell, and it was like he was the hometown fighter, the way the judges scored the fight. Now, I had him winning comfortably. I'm just saying, like, they ain't going to rob him. I know that. He ain't going to get the Lara treatment. So, Lopez is going to have to make a hell of a statement and dominate Lomachenko where they can't rob him. I believe Lopez could catch Lomachenko coming in and possibly stop him. If not, he's going to have a hard time beating him on the scorecard. Not saying he's just going to rob him. I'm saying Lomachenko's skill level is going to be a whole lot
to overcome,
for Lopez. Forget all this loss, erase, and all that. I'm just calling out ESPN for the BS because we don't tolerate that in the sport of boxing. There's no such thing as you erase the loss. BoxRec still got a big L, capital L, you know? So I'm just calling them out for that. Not saying Lomachenko is not a good fighter. However, when you duck a Devin Haney, a 20-year-old, I'm going to lose respect for you. When you duck fighters like that, I'm going to lose respect. So, you know, the brothers, every person in the world, Migos brothers, all of that, Akhis, everybody was riding for Lomachenko. They thought he was a real deal.
Oh, he not?
So he started avoiding Salido. So he started avoiding Pacquiao. And then Devin Haney. And we're like, nah, man. You what? You trying to be another Gennady Golovkin? And ESPN trying to sell him to us like HBO sold Gennady Golovkin to us back in the day. But new media from day one, we wasn't reporting. We were preaching and schooling y'all on Gennady Golovkin being overhyped. And Lomachenko is the same way. Now Lopez fighting him. So what happened to this fighter that's the greatest since Muhammad Ali? Now they talking about is a 50-50 fight.
Nobody said that except
man,
for Bob
people,
Arum.
what you mean?
Nobody said that except for Bob Arum.
Man, you must not know. You don't keep
Nobody
up.
said
you
that.
Don't keep
I do. They said that Lomachenko's the best boxer. So there's a guy named Floyd Mayweather. There's a guy named Roy Jones Jr.
You talking for yourself. I respect that you don't
What?
be
His
you're not rating
said,
him that high.
His promoter said that.
I'm talking about Lomachenko. When he went to the UK, you had Tony, you had all these fighters like and Bradley, I believe. He was debating with Andre Ward that Lomachenko pound for pound number one. They talking about he was the greatest fighter since Roy Jones as far as how he gifted. Come on, they compare him to Roy Jones.
You said the greatest fighter since Muhammad Ali.
No, but I'm saying they saying that nobody is as gifted as Lomachenko, probably other than Roy Jones. They compare him to Roy Jones, talking about he more gifted than Sugar Ray Robertson, Floyd Mayweather, all these guys. Like, and now he fight a Lopez, and now it's a 50-50 fight. As soon as you fight a good fighter, it's a 50-50 fight. Floyd Mayweather, regardless of who he fought, he was the favorite. He fought Pacquiao, he was the favorite.
He
was the favorite.
Against Corrales, he dominated him.
Corrales and Hernandez.
That was a pretty much 50-50
but that's
fight.
on his way up, though. He was on his way up. But
up.
I'm talking about after he proved himself, regardless of what people say, they didn't even want to compare him to Sugar Ray Leonard. Every time they brought Sugar Ray Leonard and compared him to Floyd, they were like, oh, what? Don't disrespect Sugar Ray Leonard. Now what? Now what? You know what I'm saying? So
before we move on, I want to I guess, respond to AJ and stuff. So I'm not making excuses for.
AJ for what?
He said I was making excuses for Lomachenko. I'm not making excuses. For one thing, please keep Devin Haney away from Lomachenko. This guy needs to. He hasn't fought anybody in the top 15. He looked a little shaky in his last fight, and let this guy
he fought with a broken shoulder. He just had a surgery.
Okay, but
he had a surgery.
He does not need to. Because I asked you earlier, I was like, "What do you think about Lomachenko against Teofimo Lopez?" And I was I said I don't think that he wants any of that smoke right now. That's just my opinion.
Lopez?
That's just what's that?
You said Lomachenko on
No,
Lopez.
I said I asked you how Devin Haney would fare against Teofimo Lopez.
Okay, how he fare against him?
I don't think he wants that smoke right now. I don't think that he's been
for
prepared.
Devin Haney?
I don't think
you keep speaking for
Devin
Devin Haney.
I'm trying to protect a young, inexperienced fighter right now who has not fought at that competition. You have to fight. You have to fight. You have to step up.
I'm saying you keep speaking for Devin Haney. You keep saying, "Oh, he don't want that smoke." Why are you speaking for Devin Haney?
No,
when
but
there's an interview out, go check it out. No, hold on. Opinions, you can keep your opinion over there. We bring facts to the table. This is a fact. Devin Haney had an interview with Lopez, and he told him, "Let's fight next." And Lopez said, "Nah, let's fight. Let's let the fight grow." Devin Haney said, "Let's fight next." Are you informed they sparred? And Devin Haney, according to the people, that he beat Lopez every single round. Now, obviously, Lopez said he was running, but that's what you call boxing. Every time somebody gets schooled in sparring, they be like, "Oh, he was running all night. He was just jabbing." Well, what that mean? He was getting schooled all night. So let's not act like Lopez is special. Don't get me wrong. But I believe Devin Haney is just as special, if not more special.
I haven't seen it yet.
Tank
I
Davis
want to
is
see
also.
it.
Have you seen the Tank Davis sparring with
Devin
Lopez?
Haney. With Lopez or Devin Haney?
No, I'm talking about Tank Davis.
Yeah.
Like, he was toying with him. Devin Haney, they said he did the same thing to Lopez. I don't know how old he was, but they around the same age. Matter of fact, Lopez is older than Devin Haney. So the fact that he got the better of him in sparring, according, like, from me hearing the interviews and Lopez backtracking from what he was saying, I believe, like I said, you keep saying, "Oh, he don't want the smoke." Devin Haney already fought him for free. They already sparred for free.
There's sparring and then there's fight. So the thing, I've seen Devin Haney fight. I've seen Teofimo Lopez fight. So when I see Lopez fight, I that's somebody I can point to, and I was like, he has that factor. He has quick twitch muscles. He has power. He has good instincts. When I see Devin Haney, I see a good boxer that is still trying to figure things out. That's my opinion. And I think that if you put him in with these sharks too early, then he becomes food.
Yeah, okay. Well, somebody in the comment section said Akhi Lopez was young. He was 14 or 17. That's a huge jump, man. You can't be 14 or 17. Say 14 or 15. But first of all, Devin Haney is younger. That's my point. So if Lopez was 14, then Devin Haney was 13. So like I said, my point is this. You can't say he afraid of him and he don't want that work when he been sparred.
I never said that.
You said that he don't want that work. He don't want to see Lopez. He said it's Devin Haney that want to fight him next. Lopez was the one that was not interested. Now, I'm not saying Lopez ducked him. I would have did the same thing if I was Lopez. I'd be like, "You know what, Devin Haney? Man, stop BSing, man. I want to fight you when I'm gonna make real money because you a real threat."
That makes sense.
But it's Lopez who said it, not Devin Haney. Devin Haney, regardless, he wanted to fight him now or later because he feel like he that confident that he could beat him now or later. So I'm just saying, I'm not picking who's a winner or a loser. I'm just saying you can't say Devin Haney doesn't want the fight
I can't.
He's saying I'll fight you next, and Lopez said no. He said I'll fight you down the line. Do you know that they were supposed to fight for like a vacant belt for the WBC? Lopez went a different route.
That was dumb.
Lopez went a different route.
That was dumb. He had like 11 fights. Like why would you fight? He's being smart. He's being a business person.
He just won by knockout in the 14th fight.
What I'm saying is that
Shakur just won in the 11th fight for a title. Like, that's not an excuse, man. Stop making excuses.
It is because these guys. No. These guys could be two of the best boxers in a couple of years, and then they will make millions where they were going to make a couple of $1,000 and then get a L on their record. That's just bad business.
Listen. Now you're talking about business. But when I'm talking about Devin Haney want to fight him next, now you don't got nothing to say. You could say he didn't want to fight him, but Devin Haney said he want to fight him next, and it was Lopez who decided to go a different direction. Now, for the people in the comment section, do y'all agree with Akhi or Professor Nim? Hashtag Akhi or Professor Nim on as far as he said Lopez, Devin Haney ain't trying to see him. He ain't trying to see Lopez. I said Devin Haney already said I'll fight you next, and Lopez said I want to go a different direction. It's a smart, good idea because, like I said, he going the money route and the legacy route too because he's finna fight Lomachenko like he's about to fight, and he just beat Commey. However, don't say Devin Haney ain't trying to fight him. You feel me? That's all I'm saying. So peep the comments, man.
All right, what's the next topic?
Tell me who's about to win that debate because I know it ain't no longer a split decision. I knocked him out like Lopez knocked out Commey, even though Commey my guy. I didn't want to do you like that, Professor Nin. So Lopez versus Lomachenko. Give me a winner.
Lopez against who?
Lomachenko. Who you picking?
If I had to pick
hey, hold on.
Now.
You want to peep the comment section? Don't get heartbroken. Don't get heartbroken. They said Professor Nim, not yet. They took it back. Then hashtag Akhi after that. Like I said,
no, he's saying not yet. He's saying he's not ready, not yet.
He said Professor Nim, not yet. Like Lopez ain't ready for my man. He like you ain't winning the argument. But I'm saying
Lopez ain't ready for who?
I'm saying, okay, is there more Akhis or there's more Professor Nim in the comment section? How about that? Let's just make it the easy route.
There's one Professor and two Akhi.
Okay, then I want. Let's keep it moving. It's a split decision win, right? Come on. It's a split decision win.
Give him some time.
You don't got to worry about them. You can answer the question. You don't got to worry about them.
So, Lomachenko against Lopez right now. I am going to go with Lomachenko on a hard-fought decision. I think that his footwork is sublime, and I think that it'll be a good fight. I mean, this to me is a 50-50 fight. Closer there is to it. But I'm going to still go with Loma at this time.
You going to go with Loma?
Lomachenko. What about you?
I can't say. I would say this. Honestly, I don't like how Lomachenko looked against his last opponent, but Lopez is not a southpaw. So I say it's a 50-50 fight. I'm kind of favoring Lomachenko a little bit just because of his experience. Mm-hmm. However, Lopez could win by knockout or he could probably win, period. And the fact that Lopez struggled versus tall opponents, and that's not something that Lomachenko is going to bring to the table. So I could see Lopez winning it. It's a 50-50 fight. I will make a prediction on it once we more close to the fight. But for the moment, I would say I would lean a little bit toward Lomachenko if I had to. However, that's because everything is going to be on his side. And responding to my man, Serrano Boxing, yeah, I agree with you. Lopez is not ducking. That's what I stated. He just went the better direction. However, don't say Devin Haney didn't want the fight. That's all I'm saying. But, yeah, I see you picking Professor Nim. So
appreciate that.
So, hold on. You could read the comments if you want to respond.
All right, on to next. So, there's a couple of comments that I will. Teofimo will smoke Devin Haney. That's what I said. So, that's kind of one for me. Lomo, if it go to the judges, that's pretty much what I said. Tio, KO's Loma in white Jamaican. I'm not sure what that what that
white
means.
Jamaican, what that mean?
Yeah, I'm not sure. Maybe they'll explain it.
Okay, well,
and then that's a good one. Devin Haney hasn't fought someone with Teofimo or Commey's power. That's what I think. I just think that Devin Haney, he needs to kind of have those fights that'll prepare him for that step up. One thing I will say is like Teofimo with this win, he's definitely. This was a different Teofimo Lopez in this fight. He did not let all his outside distractions get to him. And this guy was like, as soon as the bell rung for the first round, this guy was focused. He was intent. And he was very emotional out there, and you could tell that he had put his heart and soul into this match, and it showed.
Yeah, he had a lot of it, no cap. But he still stayed focused. He had that tunnel vision, and he won the fight. Now, click the like button. And at the end of the day, if you want to support the Akhi movement, support Split Decision, I got the Akhi hoodies, Akhi Split Decision. If y'all want to order them, hit me up on Instagram, the link in the description box below. And also, click that like button and donate to the super chat if you want to support the Akhi movement. So, how you feel about ESPN faking Lomachenko record time and time again? What's up? What is the purpose of this? Why are they continually doing this? I mean, AJ said losing to AJ was so nice, I had to do it twice. ESPN copied that blueprint. It was so nice erasing Lomachenko loss that they had to do it twice. So what's the purpose of them continuing erasing Lomachenko loss when BoxRec don't lie? Like ESPN lies, but BoxRec don't lie. So if we said last time, you told me the excuse was, oh, well, it's a mistake. Well, fool me one time, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me.
I don't recall saying that. Well, what I'll say is that I think that, so there's a lot of things, and so part of the course that I teach deals with diversity and equity. So we talk about white privilege, kind of whiteness as a standard and stuff. So it looks like ESPN has clearly gotten to bed with Lomachenko in Top Rank, and they want to kind of prop him up and kind of make him this larger than life figure when you don't have to do that. He's a good boxer in itself, and then you can just let it speak for itself. To me, it's disrespectful. It is nefarious, and also when I say it's disrespectful to people like us. I saw that fight. I saw him lose. I saw that decision. I saw the changes that he needed to make in that. It was a lesson. It was only his second fight in there, but that is disrespectful to me in my eyes and what I saw. And then you are just trying to just change this guy's record. Like, we're not going to notice that. Like, this is what we do. We are pundits when it comes to boxing, and then y'all are trying to change this guy's record and like slip it under there. And I'm sitting there like, when I saw it, I was on YouTube. I went back, I looked again. I'm like, why are they? Why? Because at first I was like, well, it could have been a slip up, but that's not a slip up. We know that he lost. We saw that he lost. But so what? We need to get over this taking a loss in boxing. There was somebody earlier who was talking about that. Actually, it was J-Rock. Like after his win against Hurd, he was so emotional that people in boxing, when you take a loss or something happens to you, they just write you off. They say, "Oh, he's done. He's all that." He did get knocked out against Charlo, Jamal Charlo. But he was real emotional and say that they just kind of wrote me off because I took a loss, and I don't understand it. It's fine taking a loss. To me, one of the qualities of a champion is how they react after taking a loss, unless you don't have to take one, a.k.a. Floyd Mayweather. But we need to get over this. People lose. And the thing about boxing is that any professional team that you like, any whatever, like they lose all the time. But they can have bad days, and then they can still be the champions at the end of that season or whatever. But in boxing, if somebody loses, you kind of like write them off and say, "Oh, they were overhyped. Oh, they weren't this and that." That is not true, and that's something that the UFC, I should say MMA. We equate UFC with MMA, but their fighters lose all the time. But we know that but they still have followings. Their fans don't abandon them, and then we need to change that. And then ESPN needs to be taking the task for that BS that they pulled with Lomachenko.
Well, Lomachenko from day one, he lost. You know what I'm saying? He came to the game with an L. You know what I'm saying? He came to the game, and Salido was like, "Here you go. Take your L." However, when you're a fighter on the hopeless, obviously they're going to try to erase that from your record. And ESPN should be ashamed of itself for doing that because,
dirty.
like, y'all make yourself look bad. For a casual fan to tune in thinking he undefeated, and then he find out he got schooled to the, got taken to the Mexican university, and he didn't just get beat. He didn't want to revisit that school. And Max Kellerman got the guts to say, Lomachenko, he does something we never seen before. Like, what? Like, something you never seen before. Like, I seen it before. I don't know what you talking about. Like, Roy Jones, he did something. Like, what did he just do? Prince Nassim Hamed, he did something I never seen before. Floyd Mayweather, he did things his way that I never seen before. He was so good that you were like, whoa, like, man, that's a special fighter. However, a guy like Lomachenko is like saying, like, don't get me wrong, for example, Morales, one of my favorite fighters. But don't tell me Morales did something that you never seen before. You know what I'm saying? It's like a fighter with heart that went to war and had great skills. You know what I'm saying? So,
I mean, I would. So with Floyd Mayweather, that fight against Corrales, I was just in awe. And to me, it was one of the things. It was one of those performances I had not really seen before. Just the way that he was in and out, and the way that he controlled.
He made zero mistakes.
Zero mistakes. But with Lomachenko, there are some things that he does that they do stand out. And then it was just like there are some things that he does with his footwork that are pretty. I'm not putting him on a Floyd level because Floyd beat champion after champion. If you look at his resume, all the Hall of Famers that he put to rest. But I will say that Lomachenko does do some things that are pretty awe-inspiring.
I ain't gonna lie. Like, I take some of the things that he does, but I seen the same things Rigan Diaz does his way. And Rigan Diaz was more impressive to me. He was more gifted. It's just that when he fought Lomachenko, he had everything against him. Age, activity, moving up 2 weight divisions. Mm-hmm. Lomachenko didn't want to fight the same guy at 126, but he decided to fight him at 130. However, like I said, Lomachenko, like, he a good fighter, don't get me wrong, but it's just the overhype that bothers me. And that's why new media here. We're not here to create confusion. We over here trying to restore order and maintain it. And we give credit to fighters that deserve credit. And fighters that don't deserve to take the credit, we take it away from them. Now, man, listen, this is a topic I've been waiting for. Because a lot of people, like, they don't know. Split decision happen every Sunday now, live, right?
Live.
However, I will post like a clip of it on a next day, and some more news come out, and they be like, "Oh man, you biased. You ain't talk about this." Like, bruh, that's an old video. Like, I got family, I got kids your age. You know what I'm saying? I got a lot of things to take care of, so I can't just be on time every single time. I'm on time when it comes to split decision, but not every single time, you know what I'm saying? So, like I said, let's talk about it. Andrade, he accepted Charlo challenge, unlike Canelo. Andrade, see, that's why I like Andrade. He got the same heart that Charlo got. Heart of a lion. Where the lion at? Where the lion at?
I don't know
where the lion at. You done took my lion? Oh, yeah? That's how you feel? Anyways.
No, you took it out.
Lion ain't in the house no more. But guess what? Canelo's strapped in the house. Best believe Canelo's strapped in the house. Now, Andrade responded to Charlo and stated, "Hey, if you for real, we could fight." I believe he said, don't quote me on this, but May or like around that time, because he got a mandatory. He fighting his mandatory Cheap. I think that's his name. I'm sorry if I mispronounced his name. It's supposed to be on January 30, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, during Super Bowl week or something like that. Now, Andrade, he's fighting who's available. A lot of people coming over here criticizing him, talking about, oh, you criticizing Canelo, but you ain't criticizing Andrade. What the hell you want him to do? What do y'all want him to do? If Canelo ain't willing to fight him, if Saunders turned down a fight with him,
he didn't turn down the fight.
Man, I said it for 1,000 times. Let's not disagree with facts. like, don't tell me he didn't turn down the fight when he did. Like, that's not professional. Like, we got to keep it professional. He turned down the fight. If you don't know,
he didn't accept the fight with him. I saw a press conference. I saw both of them at the press conference. and he had to pull out of the fight because he failed a drug test. And then
guys,
he said he came back.
I ain't gonna let you slide this time. I ain't gonna let you slide.
No,
listen, professors.
Go ahead and finish your point. Go ahead and finish your point.
Listen, I'm gonna finish my part saying this. Professors, what they do is they do their research, right? You need to do your research because the Zone offered Billy Joe Saunders a fight at 168 with Andrade. Andrade was willing to move up in weight and fight him, and he turned it down. That's after that. It happened after that. So Google it and find out. Like I said, I'm not bringing up points out of my ass. Like, I'm bringing up facts. So Saunders don't want to fight him. Just like Canelo, because he don't like his style. However, he finna fight Saunders because Saunders looked horrible his last performance, right? All these fighters, according to you, Charlo don't want to fight him. All these fighters. So, of course, he got to stay active. What do y'all want to do? Y'all want to do him like Rigan Diao back in the day when they froze him out? So he got to stay active in case somebody like Canelo want to grow some cojones and get in the ring with him. Because now they're going to make all the excuses in the world. So like I said, he fighting this guy because he got to stay active, just like Charlo. I say the same thing about Charlo. You got to stay active and put on impressive performances till you get the big fights. Now he said, hey, Charlo, I accept your challenge, and I'm going to call you a bluff. Like, I don't know what that means. Like I said, Charlo said, hey, if Canelo ain't willing to fight me, then Andrade, I want Andrade. I want Benavidez. I want Banks. He didn't even say he want Banks, but Banks keep calling him out. He said he want the guy 168 that Canelo don't want to fight. Benavidez, right?
Yeah.
Canelo, he want to fight Mexicans, right? But he fought Lopez. Lopez was a Mexican. He was trying to fight Ortiz, right? Lopez was 140 pounds. He fought him. As soon as Benavidez called him out, he said, oh, you know what? I don't fight Mexicans. What? Like, how you fight Lopez, but you don't fight Benavidez? Oh, now you know it's a real challenge. You ain't trying to step in the ring with him. He said the same thing about Charlo and Andrade. And every real challenge like Beterbiev. But when it's washed up, you know, Kovalev, he want to fight him. So we know what time it is.
Champion.
So what do you got to say to...
Lineal champion.
So what do you got to say to Andrade making the comments of, we'll see, I'm going to call his bluff. You know, he want to fight Charlo. Charlo said if Canelo keep ducking, he been ducking for the past 6 years. He ducked on Andrade at 154 for this strap, the WBO strap. He ducked Charlo for the WBC strap. We got it here. Charlo sent it my way. He ducked him for the IBF belt at 154. Man, this man done ducked the whole season, man. Man, so what's up with Charlo and Andrade? Are they going to fight? Since Canelo is not fighting them, regardless of what they do, I don't care who they beat. I don't care if they move up to heavyweight and beat a Deontay Wilder. Canelo is not fighting them. Now, if they look horrible against a bum, oh, he fighting them. But I'm saying, if they keep looking the way they are, he ain't fighting them. So, what's your take on Andrade versus Charlo? And who's lying? Who are they gonna fight next? Is it the business? What is it?
I think it's at the point where they have to fight each other. To me, from my understanding, Andrade's been calling for that fight.
Charlo been calling for that fight.
I thought Charlo was the one that said that he didn't want to go to the Zone unless it was against Canelo or Triple G, and he didn't want to do it. So that was a lot of like, I don't want to go across the street unless it's for the guys on the hope list.
What's the point?
But
let's talk about.
I think the fight is going to happen because they're just at a point where Canelo, when you say that it doesn't matter what they do, I don't know what they have done necessarily
because they can't get a fight with anybody.
Well, I mean, that's true, but that's not Canelo's job to make sure that they do that.
I say Gennady Golovkin didn't want to fight. He turned down a fight with him. Joe Saunders turned down a fight with Andrade. Canelo turned down a fight with Andrade. So Jacob, then like they friends, like they close.
Okay.
So I'm saying if every fighter don't want to fight you, what are you supposed to do? You got to feed your family. You got to stay active. Canelo keep fighting bums.
Listen, what I'm saying, like, always been in Andrade's corner. He's been calling out the big fights.
You don't sound like you are.
But what I'm saying is that he was mismanaged throughout his career, and I can't point to really any substantive name on his resume. But I like how he fights. But he's a long, slick southpaw with long reach that that kind of spoils in the fight. So it's hard to look good against. So there's this, and even this comment. So this is from an ESPN article. By Dan
the
Raphael.
Same people that erased Lomachenko lost.
But what he's doing, he said unable to land a big time fight, mainly because he represents a very high risk with only a modest financial reward. Andrade is not about to sit around and wait for another top middleweight to fight him. That's the same thing that you said.
Listen. Hold on. You said he didn't fight nobody, right? You said he didn't fight nobody. So let's talk about it.
Who are we talking about?
Andrade.
Okay, let's talk about it.
He fought Vince. He was 33-0. He was undefeated. That was a great opponent. Like, you cannot tell me.
Was he a champion?
Man, you don't know who Vincent. He fought Gennady Golovkin too, but that's after 2-year layoff and moving up in weight. I forgot his name. I'm not pronouncing his name right. You talking
about
Marioga?
Yeah,
he fought
Rosen.
He fought him and he was undefeated. He fought Brian when he was 25-1. Right? He fought Willie Nelson that knocked out Tony. He knocked him out. Coming off a 1.5-year layoff, he knocked out Nelson while Nelson was, I don't know, I'm not sure how active Nelson was, but Andrade was inactive. He was 2 years out the game. He came back and knocked out Nelson after Nelson knocked out Tony, right? But, that ain't a good win, right? You know what I'm saying? Like all these fighters on his list, like Fox, 23-0.
D-level fighters.
Hold on. What? Salusky almost beat Jacob. He had a close fight with Jacob, and he killed Jacob Salusky every single round. So it ain't like he ain't fought nobody. He just make him look like it ain't nobody. And like I said, if you want to use that argument, let's use that argument for Canelo. Who Rocky Fielding fought? You know what I'm saying? Like, at the end of the day, it's all excuses. You said, Charlo used that he on a different network. Andrade is on the same network as Canelo, and he ain't trying to fight Canelo.
But Akhi,
listen.
You got to remember what I said. I said, like, he poses a very high risk with, with not much reward. So Rocky Fielding does not. Nobody's going to give him credit you beat Andrade. Like,
Oscar De La Hoya came out saying that not just him, all these legendary fighters, that he need to beat the likes of Charlo and Andrade to be great. What you mean? Everybody going to give him the credit. If we considered his critics, we going to give him the credit. So who you want the credit from? If it's from your fans support you either way, you saying he not going to get a lot to gain, or he don't have a lot to gain. Canelo was one belt removed from becoming the undisputed at 160. That's his big dream. He was going to be the first Mexican ever to be the undisputed champion at 160. Guess what he decided to do? He vacated his straps instead of fighting Andrade. He was one belt removed from becoming undisputed. So don't tell me he don't got nothing to gain. He got a lot to gain. But the obstacle is bigger than him. He feel like, I can't beat Andrade no way. What's the point? If I fight Andrade, I'm going to lose. I can't even rob him because he going to whip me so much that it's just he's going to grab Canelo straps and whip him with it. So we know what time it is. He ain't trying to see him.
Let's go to, so somebody wrote, Sean wrote who Canelo fought that wasn't compromised. I'll wait. You don't have to wait that long.
What do you mean compromise? Look, you got to.
Like as far as like age or injured or coming off a bad loss.
Like all of them. Kovalev.
Lara.
Kovalev. He lost to Lara. How you gonna mention a fight he lost?
Trout.
It was a close fight.
No, he didn't say
Lara. Floyd, he beat his ass.
He said who has he fought. He didn't say who has he beat.
Okay.
He said who has he fought.
Kovalev.
No, he said that wasn't. He actually. I just gave 3 names. These guys
and he
were
lost.
Not
he
compromised.
lost 3 of them fights. He lost 3 of them fights. He lost to Floyd, then he lost to Lara. So like I said, they trying to protect Canelo because every time he fights a fighter, what's the word he used?
Compromise.
Every time he fights a fighter that's not compromised, he get beat. So they try to protect this boy because he don't got the cojones to step in the ring with men like Andrade and Charlo. Like I said, Andrade called him a B. I ain't gonna say it on live. Probably we got kids watching. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to all my Akhis and all that. But like I said, Adrian Bona, not Adrian Bona. Andrade called him a B. He told him, you don't got no cojones. If you got cojones, come see me. I didn't even know what cojones means. I had to go Google it. Like Deontay Wilder said, I had to go Google that shit.
Google Translate.
To figure out what cojones means. I was like, oh, that's what he meant. Because when you a boy, you know, you will hop in the ring with a good fighter, but when you a man, you will hop in the ring with everybody. So Andre tried to tell him, listen, if you got cojones, come see me, bruh. I gave up my strap. You went and fought for a vacant strap. The whole time I had the strap, you didn't want to come see me. As soon as I vacated it, you went and beat Smith, a guy that's a nobody. And he, like I said, he been avoiding Andrade for 5 years. The same for Charlo. He been avoiding Charlo for 5 years.
Yes.
He gave up his strap. Like, I lost all the respect.
I thought that was for his brother.
I lost all, no, that's at 154. He avoided both. He gave up his strap. He requested a WBC. Like, hello, WBC? Yeah, man, listen, I got a lion outside. Man, listen, man. You know, I got them chicken feathers, right? Man, that lion, man, he gonna feast on me. Oh, what I gotta do? Oh, throw him a bait? What y'all want him throw him the what? Throw him the food? What with a strap on it? Oh, nah, man. Okay, well, if that's the only way, it is what it is. That's what Canelo did. He had to call the WBC.
He also fought Jacobs when Jacobs was clearly like one of the top contenders too. So you got Benavidez. You got Benavidez. He claiming he Mexican. He don't want to fight him. He got Benavidez. Oh, he too young. Like, oh nah, he ain't washed up like Kovalev. Charlo. Oh, he a lion. I ain't going near him. When you a duck, he gonna feast on you. You got Andre, been ducking him for 5 years like he been ducking Charlo. So I'm not just giving you a name. I'm giving you names with facts. And Canelo, he chooses to fight Saunders and Smith, two fighters that's coming off a horrible performance where Billy Saunders, he was losing almost every single round to a bum. Meanwhile, Smith, on the other hand, he robbed his opponent. He also won by knockout, right?
He robbed his opponent. Like he said Saunders was born as soon as he looked exposed versus a nobody, then, it's automatically a go. Let's stop playing, man. So, on to the next topic.
Well, hold on. So, with that said, I would love to see in the springtime Charlo.
Oh, yeah, who are you picking? Who are you picking for that fight?
Charlo against Andrade.
Who are you picking?
I'm actually going to go with Andrade. And I think that the winner should unequivocally get a shot at Canelo. I would say that.
Canelo ain't trying to fight nobody,
he should. If he not, then we take him to task, take all his belts, do this. But they fight each other. That's basically like a number one contender. They do that. He fights them on September the 5th, which is Mexican. It's a Mexican holiday. Do it, Canelo. You know, I'm not sure who I'm a favorite in that fight, but I actually think that Andrade will beat Charlo.
Okay. That fight is tricky.
Who you got?
Andrade, on one hand, one of the best in the world. I believe him versus Charlo is the Errol Spence versus Terrence Crawford of the middleweight division. That guy. This fight was supposed to be the quarter fight for the final, right? But because they can't, like in basketball, anything, you got leads, they're going to have to play against each other. In boxing, you don't got to fight against the best. Charlo could ask for a Canelo fight all he want. He not going to get it. WBC ordered the Gennady Golovkin versus him. It didn't happen. Andrade, he was supposed to fight Gennady Golovkin. It didn't happen. The WBC ordered versus the fight between Charlo and Canelo. The fight didn't happen. We know if them fight took place, then Charlo would have whipped Canelo and Andrade would have whipped Gennady Golovkin, and then they would have met, and it would have been the final. But now, obviously, they got to settle for less. But it is what it is. It's like back in the day, the murderers row all over again. The murderous row fighters fight each other. The hopeless fighters fight each other. You know what I'm saying? So
are you gonna make a pick?
So I would say this: Charlo, the younger Charlo, Jamal Charlo, for example, he does better versus southpaw than Jamal Charlo, in my opinion, because he got to spar the best of both worlds. He got to spar Lara, who is a moving target. Then he got to spar Errol Spence. Yeah. So that's why he knocked out Lubin the way he did. People that said it was a lucky shot. No, he been sparring Errol Spence and Lara for years. What you think? Like, Lubin is one of the best too. But it's just the fact that he so familiar with a southpaw style that he feel at home. However, I believe the fact that Jamal Charlo spars a lot of middleweights, he kind of end up. Spars Lara for a long time. Lara being a slick fighter that counters, he kind of overthinks too much, because Lara, he will set you up and all that. So he will fight a southpaw and overthink. When he could just let shot, this is an open target. He thinking, oh, he's trying to set him up, but nah, he's just an open target. So I believe that Jamal Charlo, he does better against orthodox fighters. So that might give Andrade the egg in that fight. However, he's a live opponent for sure. So
give me a pick.
I would say, I don't know, 50-50. I can't pick on that one. I don't know. I got to see how they look on their next couple fights. So on to the next topic, Anthony Joshua. He said he wants to go for undisputed. Is he sincere or not? Deontay Wilder said what?
So hold on one sec. So I think they're saying that people don't know the number to call. So it is, and I also put it in there. It's 929-620-6921. Call in. Be live on Split Decision. We definitely want to hear your
Every
opinion.
time I connect the Bluetooth, the sound go off. Maybe I was on YouTube. That's why.
Yeah.
No,
so you're gonna have to be out there. Yeah. And then so once the call comes in, you'll just switch
make sure
audio.
they're not saying nothing about the sound thing.
So my man got boo boo. So it looks like everybody is actually picking Andrade.
I'm not surprised. Like I said, Charlo does struggle versus a southpaw. So we'll see. However, at the end of the day, Charlo a beast. You know what I'm saying? If anybody could beat Andrade, it's gonna be Charlo.
Well, except for 69 on the bed, he calls it instead of boo boo Andrade, he calls him doo doo.
Y'all violating Andrade. Hey, well, how about Canelo's cuckoo then? Yeah. Is that how you say it in Spanish?
What's that?
Cuckoo.
Spanish. Spanish for what? Like
doo-doo.
Crazy? Oh, doo doo. Oh, I don't know.
How you say it in Spanish?
I don't know.
Cuckoo. Anyways, so we have somebody calling in, because I don't know, like I don't got nobody calling in. Nobody want to smoke. Yeah. Nobody want the smoke. So let's just move on. So Anthony Joshua came out and said he want to go for undisputed.
Who does?
He want to go for undisputed. Is he sincere or not? Now Wilder responded quick, man. It didn't take too long for Wilder to respond. My man came quick, like a white cub on a white neighborhood. You know what I'm saying? When we in white neighborhood, you call 911. They
the white
quick.
Cops, yeah.
White cubs. You know what I'm saying? So Deontay Wilder responded by saying, "Listen, let's make it happen ASAP." However, we all know Anthony Joshua, man, he capping. I'm sorry, but like I said, he don't got no cap, but he be capping. Meanwhile, Wilder, he been asking for that fight. I wish somebody would call in and debate on this, like trying to disagree, man. But anyways, so do you believe AJ? For the 1,000 times, like he gonna lie to us for the 1,000 times. Like
I like AJ in there, but
I like AJ too.
I also notice when somebody's capping, and then so you could have easily said after you but after you beat Ruiz, you could have you could have easily said, I want Wilder next. I want. He didn't say that. He didn't come out and say that. And then they're lining up their mandatories. So I don't want to hear that. I mean, if you're being strategic, if you're doing that, that's fine. Just say that. But don't come out and then try to use somebody else's name as a way to push your agenda or like big up your next fight. Like, oh, this is the guy that called out Wilder that wants to be undisputed. No, fight him. That's it. I mean, I'm really tired of this little merry-go-round. with AJ. I actually think he has a good chance of beating him because he could outbox him. He just needs to show the heart and show a little bit of gumption and then get in the ring with this man. That's it. Plain and simple.
Man, listen. Deontay Wilder, he put fear in people, man. I mean, like at the end of the day, Anthony Joshua could say whatever he want to say. However, it's a lot of cap in his game. He done lied for the 1,000th time already. You know what I'm saying? So, hold on. I just put the number for people to call in. Y'all keep saying one number. Yeah. I just put it again, so I don't know how many times.
And I'm putting it again, too.
Yeah.
So the number is up there.
Try to pin that comment. Let me pin that comment so people know what I'm talking about.
I put it in. I'm capping just so all y'all know.
Yeah. Anyways, so back to my point. Deontay Wilder, he will send that boy back to the UK. Like I said, if Ruiz send him back to the UK after he knocked him out, Deontay Wilder will send him back to the motherland. Because we got a caller. Hold on. I got to connect the Bluetooth.
So answer it and then go to audio.
Hold on, fam. No, that's the speaker. Hold on.
Yeah.
Hold on. I got. I know how to do it. I haven't connected. Like the Bluetooth was off. Hello. So how?
What?
Now they'll.
We don't got the headphones.
So basically, just
no. So we're here. Go ahead, talk.
Go ahead. Hey, can you hear us?
Yeah.
Let me turn it up. We got a caller in. Who's calling?
This one dude. Who do you fucking think?
Yeah. Can you hear us?
Yeah.
Yeah, we can hear you. Can you hear us?
Yes, I can. Hello.
What is that?
There's one dude who you fucking hate. Speak. Go ahead, speak facts. Speak facts.
Yeah, go ahead, ask the question.
Alright, so basically, you guys know nothing about boxing at all.
Yeah, go ahead. So we listening to you from the live, so go ahead and talk to him.
Alright, so basically, you know nothing about boxing at all.
Like we don't have the headphones, so we can't listen to him. Like,
you guys are the most biased people I ever seen. Charlo and Andrade are fucking garbage. They fight nothing but bums. Canelo fights all champions, fucking 3 different weight classes. You don't see them doing that, do you?
So I mean,
that's way behind, bro.
All right, so educate us. Give us your name. You know what I'm saying? Put yourself out there and educate us.
What?
Man, just he a casual fan. It's behind. We gotta respond. Anyways, so like I said, turn the volume down.
Yeah, I could.
Like I said, time and time again, like you could talk. You a Canelo fan. It sounds like you speaking from your emotion. At the end of the day, you ain't coming out with facts. He fighting champions. Like his resume is made up. He fought Kovalev on the way out. He fought Chavez at a catchweight. He fought Gennady Golovkin after he looked exposed against Jacob. He fought all these fighters like Lopez moving up from 140 pounds. As soon as he fought a good fighter like Larry, he lost. As soon as he fought Floyd, he lost. As soon as he fought Gennady Golovkin the first time, he actually had a draw. You know what I mean? So you saying this and that, at the end of the day, he ain't fighting Benavidez next. He about to fight at 168. He said, I'm Mexican. I don't fight Mexicans. But Lopez was Mexican. Like I said, at the end of the day, Beterbiev, he didn't want to fight him at 175, and he got 2 strapped. He could have fought Andrade and became unified champion at 160. He chose to do otherwise.
Okay, then.
So, hold on.
Let him respond.
It's late. I already turned off the phone call.
Okay.
That's
like
a minute behind, so we gotta wait.
Yeah.
Anyways, so like I said, this guy, Man, this got to be a decaf, a dumb ass casual fan. That's what you is. Let's call it what it is. Because
ad hominems or whatnot.
Ain't no ad hominems, whatever that means. At the end of the day, like I said, you mad because your favorite fighter ducking. Like I said, he one of the guys that criticized Floyd. Meanwhile, Floyd whipped Canelo ass. And at the same time, Floyd Mayweather whipped all these Mexican fighters on Mexican Independence Day. Canelo Alvarez didn't want to become undisputed on Mexican Independence Day against a fighter he been ducking for 5 years. How you justify that? How you justify Canelo Alvarez fighting a guy at 168 that coming off a horrible performance after he was saying he was born? And fighting Smith after a robbery. I'm calling him out because I didn't know what he said after that. But anyways, so let's back to the point. We ain't gonna be accepting calls till we get headphones because we can't hear it live, and the live is a minute behind. It's a lot of confusion. So like I said, we're gonna have to get headphones for the next show. What they say in the comment section?
They saying Akhi is decaf.
Nah, y'all some decaf, dumb ass casual fans. We came out with a term. Shout out to Dante. That's his term. New media. We know we the wave. So at the end of the day, we the mob, huh? So respond to the question. He even called Professor Nim. He over here. He digging his own grave, protecting Canelo, and he gonna ish on Professor Nim too. Like I said, at the end of the day, they not laughing with you. They laughing at you, Professor Nim, because you ain't winning the debate.
No, the thing is that I just like substantive stuff, and like I like working off facts. Like I can get into this all day about calling names, and you don't know what you're talking about. You don't do this.
Yeah, like
and
we ain't trying.
I'm not really. Yeah, that's why I was saying like I'm not really interested in doing that at this point. That's another caller.
But okay. Like I said, we kind of behind. Like we're not gonna be able to pick up the call right away, but we could.
I mean, we could try to, you know what I'm saying, bring them in and stuff. So
we could probably get him toward the mic. I'm gonna answer without the Bluetooth.
Okay,
that'd be a good idea.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yo. Akhi, what's up, fam?
What's going on? It's Sean Johnson. What's poppin', guys? What's going on, Professor Neves?
Sean, what's good?
Sean, finally, Akhi calling. Hey, we had a decaf earlier, but we didn't have him on at the right time.
That dude's a clown, man. Don't even listen to that fool, man. He called just to get views, get heard, man.
Yeah,
listen,
a little clap.
Y'all forgetting the one little thing about the fact that this dude was on the hookah. He was on the steroids.
Oh man!
Thank you. That's true.
Thank you.
That's true. Somebody
2-3 times.
Exactly. He failed for steroids. What's y'all excuse for that? Like he over here taking steroids in order to keep up with these athletes. That's clean.
Come on, man. He said it was in the meat, and all of a sudden they changed the rules. So now the meat is good. So now come on, man.
Hey,
what's in the meat, bro?
I want some of that meat too, right?
Yeah,
hey,
bro,
I mean,
man, keep it going.
Hey, appreciate it. Hey, appreciate my man Sean for calling in.
Yeah, Sean
Hey, now
Johnson
we could accept calls. Matter of fact, I could just have a person call in. Hey, that decaf call in, bro. Hey, I'm going to take you to the Akhi University. But shout out to Sean for calling in. And thank you for supporting the Akhi over here. Because like I said, they over here making excuses.
No, he's not.
Canelo
He just stating facts. I don't think he's not necessarily supporting anybody.
He co-signing everything Akhi's saying. You heard him. Hey.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is that there's you can't really defend the indefensible. I have no respect and no excuses for people who bring in performance enhancement drugs into boxing because this is a sport where you could get into a ring and be carried out of that ring. So, but I'd say if we want to go down the line, we can talk about Pacquiao. We can talk about Canelo.
But the problem,
we can talk
Pacquiao,
about Dillian White. We can talk about a lot.
Pacquiao. I feel like he ate some of that forbidden fruit against Keith Thurman, but he never got busted. Canelo got busted. Like, let's all be honest. Like, Canelo, there's paper and facts say, hey, you took steroids. So, anyways, on to the next topic. Like I said, Tyson Fury fired his trainer. How you feel about that?
I mean, he does.
He hired Freddie Roach and fired his trainer. I guess he ain't learning anything from him.
Sometimes that you do need to do that. So usually people hire Freddie Roach if they want to become a little bit more offensive. Popular. Well, not a little bit more offensive. Like
popular. What do you mean offensive?
Because like Freddie Roach's style is a very offensive style of boxing that he teaches. So if you look at Miguel Cotto, Manny Pacquiao, I think even Mike Tyson worked with him a little bit. He's not somebody who's going to be working on like slipping and dodging, doing that. He's going to teach you how to throw very quick and powerful combinations, and then also bringing that footwork as a part of that, showing you how to break down the body. So if he's doing that to become a little bit more of a dynamic offensive fighter, that might help.
Freddie gonna get Tyson Fury knocked out because he don't need to be offensive against Deontay Wilder. He need to be defensive. He need to box. He need to use the ring. He need to avoid that right hand. Freddie Roach gonna have Tyson Fury slump. I'm thinking he got Freddie Roach so he could get a little publicity since he sold 3,000 tickets his last fight. That's what I'm thinking. Like, if you ask me, that's what I'm thinking, because I don't know if you bringing in Freddie Roach. Like, Freddie Roach is getting old. Like, yeah, like he could teach you that come forward style, but that's not really his style. Tyson Fury is a boxer. And for you, with not a lot of power, to come to Deontay Wilder, to come to his power, like, it's common sense. For every action, there's an equal opposite reaction. If somebody coming in and you catch him coming in, it's an automatic knockout. You could ask Pacquiao when he took a nap against Marquez because he came into the shot. So against Wilder, Tyson Fury need to dance around, circle around the ring, move to the right, move to the left, avoid the right hand, avoid even the left hook, not go forward. So I believe it's just a publicity stunt where you're going to use Freddie Roach to promote him, really. I don't think it's more so,
Somebody wrote in Fury needed Ronda Rousey trainer. He's the worst. He's actually trained.
Ronda Rousey, man, he didn't even like how you have a female that just got knocked out by a punch or a kick, whatever, go into the rematch or to a second fight and not have her spar without hitting her face. Like, you think fight night, you're going to tell your opponent, don't hit my face? She specialized in striking. And you're going to tell him, don't hit my face? Man, when Sugar Ray Leonard came back after 5-year retirement, remember?
Yeah.
He came back, and my man, he went back to the game, and he took off the headgear. Like, he wanted to feel how it feels to get punched because he don't want to be surprised fight night. So... like, I don't know, man. But who said that?
That was Coda Kid. Shout out to Coda Kid on there.
So shout out to Coda Kid. Now, the important fights upcoming next week or upcoming week?
No, next week, the 21st, we got Charlo versus Harrison.
Oh, man, that's the fight. Okay, so who you got winning?
We got a prediction. I am going to go with Charlo by late round stoppage. Going with Jermell Charlo late round stop.
I don't know. After seeing that Lopez knockout, I feel like Charlo gonna show he gonna come through. He gonna come through and come through correct. Like I said, a lot of people saying that, hey, he not focused, this and that. Like, oh, he over emotional. Like, I just feel like he got the right amount of emotion. Like, he always been like this. Like, Charlo, he could be talking normally and like there's a lot of energy around him. So
he capped a lot.
He don't cap. Ain't no capping again. He never ducked a fighter.
He capped against Andrade talking about, I'm an animal. I'm doing this.
What?
Like, they're just doing that. Just like, listen, you get paid to fight. You get paid millions of dollars to fight somebody in the ring. Stop with all this. Andrade, when Andrade was outside of their locker room when his brother had got through fighting, Andrade asked him hey, what's up?
Guys,
like, why you
please
looking at
tell
me like
Professor
that?
Nim. I don't know why Professor Nim likes to get checked every single time. But then I proved to you, and I showed you the article, that Demetrius Andrade got offered by Showtime to fight Charlo on the undercard, and he turned down that fight. Then I show you that.
You're not even listening to my point. What I'm saying is just like, why is you, if you see somebody, why is you going to act like you some thug or you some dude from the street and everything like that?
If he moves like that, he offered Andrade to fight. Unlike Canelo, he could move like that because unlike Canelo, he sent Andrade a fight offer and he wanted to fight Andrade, and it was Andrade surprisingly turning that fight down. Like I said, he could talk like that and act like he's a lion and roar all day because he offered Andrade to fight.
Because they got bodyguards there and he ain't going to do nothing.
He tried to fight him in the ring, and it was Andrade who turned down that fight.
And then he was like, you know what? I want your big brother. Where he at? I want your big brother. Where he at?
You wrong.
I want your big brother.
Charlo said he already called him out. Like, what? You act like you making a point. Charlo called out Andrade before Andrade called him out.
That's not true.
So what's the point? I'm saying it was Andrade who turned down that fight, so you could say, oh, he could act like he tough guy and whatever, but it was Andrade who turned down that fight, and Andrade my man. But I gotta call it what it is. So you bring up the point, like Charlo is acting like Canelo. Charlo could act how he want to act because he try to fight everybody.
I said he be capping.
How is he capping when he tried to fight Andrade and was Andrade who turned down the fight?
What I'm saying is you are a professional. You are a professional boxer. Stop with all of this outside the ring stuff, acting like he tried to like jump on Broner or act some stupid stuff. And they had man, stop that. Y'all grown men, y'all millionaires.
You don't like Broner though.
Y'all grown men. Who said I don't like Broner?
What? You said out of your own mouth. You be forgetting.
I said Broner is good for boxing. He's doing that. But what I'm saying is every time he steps up, he gets beat.
I don't know. But, you said you don't like Broner. You said that you want to see him get beat and you want Crawford to knock him out. Like you exactly the words that came out of your mouth.
I do want to see Crawford knock him out. I do want to say because he's never been knocked out. So I do.
So you sound like you hating Broner. But now you mad Charlo is beefing with him. Like they had real beef and like Broner be in the street. Like Broner he ain't be playing. Like he be in the street. So they had real beef. So it is what it is. Let them solve that. All I'm saying in the ring,
all my Akhis and all that, like let's stop all that.
All I'm saying, Charlo in the ring is not a cap.
Let's stop all of this fighting. Like when you get paid millions to fight, stop trying to fight somebody outside the ring. Stop with all this. I got beef with you. Let's make you don't see nobody on the hope list talking about I got beef with him. I'm gonna fight him because they make money. They doing that. Because that's not about us. That's just dumb, and that's just not about us as a people. Let's stop doing that mess.
Stop doing what? He tried to fight Andrade in the ring. Like, what are you talking about? He could talk ish behind the ring. It sells fights. That's why this fight is sold out. People complain.
Hey, look, but listen.
Hold on. Now let me finish my point. People complain about fights. This fight ain't popular. Oh, he ain't selling. Oh, he ain't big. They want to hear the trash talk. That's how Floyd Mayweather became money made. So Charlo's doing his part. This fight been sold out because of the trash talk. So he gonna do what it do to feed his family. So he could talk how he want to talk. He could do whatever he want to do as long he's willing to fight everybody. And that's something Charlo's willing to do. I could care less if you want to be respectful all you want and duck the best like Canelo. I respect Andrade because Andrade, he be respectful. But at the end of the day, he still be wanting to mix it up. Yeah, he didn't want to fight Charlo at 154 because he felt like it was too early and he could fight him maybe in the future for more money, but that's not Charlo's fault. So credit to Charlo for actually wanting to fight Andrade for a lower amount of money because he could care less. He that confident. So on to the next topic. Oh, I didn't even pick a winner. I got Charlo by knockout. Yo, last pick, Jacob versus Chavez.
Jacob's easy. Chavez is a bum. He fights off his father's name.
You know, Chavez took a bite at that forbidden fruit.
He did, but I got Jacob. Chavez is a bum. I don't want to. That's it. I don't have a lot of respect for him.
That's not even a prediction.
He's lazy. He's entitled. He cheats. What else can you say about him?
Yeah. Anyways, I got Jacob winning, obviously. However, if Chavez is on that, computer roll, he might actually go 12 rounds with Jacob. So that being said, I appreciate all my Akhis. If somebody want to call in last second, go ahead and we could take our thoughts. Drop in the comment section who y'all think won the debate today, Akhi or Professor Nim. So go ahead, put Nim in the comment section, put Akhi, flood the comment section. Let me see who y'all talking about. Hold on. Sean Johnson. They talk in the comment section. We ain't keeping up. We need somebody to keep us up. But anyways,
we're looking for a producer.
Hey, he said, Professor, he said you went in on Junior, man. Hey, they saying Akhi went in the chat. OG Swag, shout out to my Akhi. I'm my brother in the comment section showing love. Chavez only come to fight at 12. Akhi.
In the 12th round.
He said Akhi got you this week, Professor. Hey, they saying I'm over here destroying you, Professor Nim. They saying I did you how Commey, how Lopez knocked out Commey. Ain't nobody said nothing.
I got Professor.
They said the scorecard today was 118-112 between me and you.
I don't see that.
So after Akhi, see, that's what I'm saying. Hey, so after 12 rounds of split decision, of debating, me and Professor Nim, we came to a split decision. However, the fans think it's a unanimous decision for Akhi. Some fans think it's a knockout. But like I said, God only makes a couple things perfect, and that's Floyd Mayweather boxing record and me on split decision. Hold on. He said, Sean said, Professor, you lost me when you said that shit about Canelo. That was it. I don't know which one you're referring to, but he said a lot. He be trying to defend Canelo. That's what he's saying. He said you be trying to defend him.
I just state facts.
I don't know. That's not facts. Dwayne.
I state facts.
Man, we just passionate about it. At the end of the day, it's all love. If you're taking it too serious, then I don't know what are you watching boxing for? Because this is our passion. This is our everything that we love to do. You know what I'm saying? So, like I said, subscribe, donate. At the end of the day, donate below if you want to support the Akhi movement, and be on the lookout next week for split decision. First time doing the show live, and we kind of a little confused. We a little out of order. Next week we hopefully have a host and somebody that keep up with the comment section. And like I said, if you want to get our attention when it comes to, everything, when it comes to basically like, a prediction, whatever, all you got to do is drop a super chat and we will discuss it. So that being said, tune in every Sunday. Click on that notification bell to get notified every time you post to go live. Subscribe below if you're trying to get smart about a minute. If you're trying to get dumb about a second, don't. And listen to these casual fans. End of the day, shout out to Professor Nim. He's a real life professor with a PhD degree. To all the casual fans that I knocked out. You know what I'm saying? I hope y'all recover and come back stronger than ever and get another knockout KO by the Akhi. So come through at the end of the day. It's all good. You know what I'm saying? Get educated and get a Medicare for you to recover for all these beatings that y'all receiving by this Akhi in particular. So shout out to Dante, shout out to DBN, shout out to New Media, and to be continued on the next episode of Split Decision. Peace. Don't knock them out like that, man. Don't do them like that. So how we exit alive?
Yeah, that's it. Work through some little challenges that we